Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I want to show you guys another video. Today I want to show you guys the first base which we used in the qualifier for the ESL World Championship, and I think overall we did defense wise really well, maybe even one of the best teams out there. So huge shout out to our base building team. If you want to check out any of the bases, make sure to follow them. I linked their Discord server down below in the comments. So let's get started with the base and with the video. If you guys know my base building videos, or like my base showcase videos, you know, first off, yes, for all of you guys who just want to have quickly the base link and just copy it straight away, go down below in the comments or like in the video description and check out the base link. But if you want to know what is the best clan caster for this base, if you want to know how you guys can build bases like this or like tweak your own bases to become better bases, make sure to watch the entire video, and in the end I will show you guys one air attack on the base and one ground attack, obviously. So, well, if you want to, stick around and enjoy the video. For now, let's talk about the base and what is the purpose of the base, because this base was designed to be used in war, in the Clan War, in the Clan War League, things like that are working really well with that base. I use this base just like to test it a little bit more. In Legend League, so far I got attacked 2 times, one time like 80% 2-star with Queen Charge Hybrid, and the second time a 1-star with Yeti Smash. The second one we'll take a look at later and explain a bit more why exactly it's a little bit a struggle sometimes to attack this base with Yeti Smash. But for now, let's take a look at the base. First thing first, which I'm always talking about when taking a look at the base, are the expos. We have on this base 2 ground expos which are located over here and 2 air expos on the other side, like kind of on the flanks. So why exactly is this working? First off, we have the 2 ground expos kind of centralized in this one, which makes charges kind of difficult because the access to those expos are not that easy. So you need to charge in kind of over here, but then you don't have access to this expo, for example. So you always have like at least one expo which you can't reach, which is always a nice thing, at least like damage wise, so you can create like really nice heavy damage zones for your queen or like for the enemy queen to make sure that he's having not a great time charging into your base. The next thing is that this base had a couple of obvious entries which most of the people in the testing phase tried to opt into, and this is why we chose this base, or like this is why we used this base in the qualifier. The first thing which a lot of people tried is a Yeti blimp into this compartment, and then like a queen charge into the multi-inferno tower, because multi-inferno towers nowadays, I told you guys this already in a couple of other videos, are not that good anymore. The reason why we use the multi-inferno tower, or like why the multi-inferno tower is over there, is it's a bait. That's it. Like, it's more like, hey, take this trash inferno tower, and there's even scatter shot next to it, go for it, buddy, you got that. And well, it's not really working too well, because as soon as the queen charged in there, first off, you need tons of spells for that, and second of all, then you need to start like your hybrid in there, and your queen has nearly no value anymore. So that's kind of not the best thing to do, especially the sweeper is super annoying, pushing the healers always backwards. And now let's talk about one more thing about this strategy, or like this idea, because this entry with the Yeti blimp is actually baited. You will have to use a rage at least to get the entire part, and even then it's sometimes a bit like, even then it's sometimes not working. Why exactly is that the case? That's the case because of those 2 ground skeletons traps over there. The reason behind that is, even if you rage everything up, those Yetis have to attack the skeletons, and this means you rely on the damage of the Yeti mites, which have to go through the Inferno Tower, or like have to kill the Inferno Tower. They have to kill those 2 Wizard Towers, and then they can enter on the Expo. The reason is that all of those buildings have kind of high HP, so this means those Yeti mites will take really long to get through, so it's not that easy, and then you have the Scatter Shot as well, shooting all the time on that, so the Yeti blimp is not that easy. Next thing, which a couple of people tried, was something like a drag bat. We will take a look at that in a second. And that's kind of the next entry, which a lot of people thought would look kind of good, because they went for those 2 buildings. Like those 2 buildings next to each other, on kind of on the flank of the town hall, looked really juicy to a lot of people. And this means just going with your queen in here, taking those 2 buildings out, king on the top side, and then dragons kind of in the town hall. That was an idea which a lot of people tried, and the first replay which I will show you guys will just highlight this attack. So yeah, make sure to stay tuned for that. The next thing is we have a centralized tornado trap, which means it's most of the time against those Easter egg spams, dragon spam, or even Yeti smash. Things like that are working really well. Or like if you want to defend those, is working really well with having a centralized tornado trap. The next thing which you want to have is like you want to have the tornado trap, if possible, between the two scatter shots. So on this one, if you take a look at the ranges, this one is in range. Like if it's rotated into this wall, like kind of around, it's in range. And the other one as well, if it's getting rotated kind of in range over here, so it has like nice splash damage on all of the troops which are caught in the tornado trap. All of this works really well together. It's like really nice, nicely put together. And then even if you push through the side kinda, you have always this back end which is super annoying to deal with and not that easy to come through. So that was kind of the idea behind the base. That was the setup of the base. So I think what we should do next is let's get started with the first replay. And one more thing, I don't think that I highlighted it yet, but on this base, the CC which I'm using is 15 archers and 2 ice golems. That was working really well for me. So try that out on your own. Yeah, that's it. So let's get into the first replay and see how the attacker dealt with that base. This attack was happening in the round of top 64, so it was like the top 64 teams in the Clash of Clans World qualifier in the second one. And yeah, so one of the guys from Danish Clan Wars is attacking this base, and he's going with one of the entries which I just highlighted to you guys with the drag bat attack. So first off, the queen on the left side is trying to deal with the Tesla. On the right side, you can see this giant bomb is perfectly placed to get rid of the barbarians. And now the next thing is happening, which is super nice for the defender, because the king is useless. Like, I will pause it over here. The king got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buildings on the outside. I think there were 2 defenses from those 7 buildings, and that's it. That's a freaking level 70 king. And he got 7 or 6 buildings because I think that was taken out by a wizard. So that's no value. The reason behind why it's working that well, the king will always go against this wall and will have basically no value. That's kind of the idea behind that. So let's keep rolling with the replay. And now we can see as well the queen is having so much damage over here that she can't take out those two defenses, which means the giant bomb actually killed her. And this means this air defense keep defending everything. Black mines are going into the loons, so it's good for him actually. And now the rest of the the rest of the archers are coming out of the clan castle. So he has to like delay the warden ability because the dragons are first off targeting obviously the archers. And now the slammers coming in from the top side, which is first off looking like a really good idea because he can take down the useless multi-inferno tower, the scatter shot, the air expo. So a lot of value over there. But now we're getting into the issue. Now we're getting to the danger part, which are those two wizard towers. And those 2 wizard towers are kind of hell for those bats. The reason behind that is because we have 2 wizard tower in one compartment which can't be frozen together. And this means you have to invest tons and tons of spells. And even with the Royal Champion, he had to invest like 2 to 3 free spells. So that's pretty crazy. The reason behind why this is so good is because 1 wizard tower over here, 1 wizard tower over here, and in between we have 2 buildings which are which have crazy high HP, which means like the Inferno Tower and the ground, or like the Expo in general. So those 2 defenses are tanking for the wizard tower on the other side. And this makes it that you most of the time need to use at least 3 rages to get through that compartment with the bats, which is pretty expensive and you can't really do that. So this attack finished on like 74%, which is insanely low considering having like a high top war, whatever. So that was a really good defense for us. And I think now we take a look at how ground works on this base and why exactly I really like those 2 compartments, and I will get back on that in a second. So let's jump into the replay and I will explain a bit more about how those 2 compartments are completely messing up ground attacks. So this is the Yeti Smash attack which was thrown at this base, and now I want to talk a bit more about those 2 compartments. Meanwhile, with this guy will do like a ward walk over here and try then to enter over here. So first off, why exactly do I like those two compartments? Those two compartments make mistakes really pay off, like really bad for attackers, because it's so easy to mess up the funnel. Like if you want to enter over here like this guy, it's so easy to mess up the funnel. If something over here is just standing over here, the troops are so easily going to the side, which is awesome. It's like for the defender, it's awesome. For the attacker, it sucks. That's how it is. But this means we see it in a second why exactly this is so good. So let's speed through that a little bit more. So Warden is getting through everything. Even to Tesla to make sure that the funnel is a bit tougher. But this guy, since he did the Warden walk, he got the 2 Tesla. And then now let's get back to just normal speed. He is sending everything in. Normal wall breakers are actually working, so everything is looking really good for him. Now he's going in there, but his troops, like his boulders, are going onto the outside because there's nothing inside which actually lures them in. So those 3 buildings which you can reach from the outside are pulling troops over, and this makes this entry really hard to pull off. The next thing, the tornado trap now, is grouping everything together. Even though the right scatter shot is already down, the left scatter shot is melting through those troops. And even though the king used this ability, now all of the barbarians are getting melted by the scatter shot because he's dealing the splash damage. Meanwhile, on the right side, he has the royal champ. The skeleton traps is delaying the royal champion like insane. And now everything is getting like pulled away from the town hall because of the royal champion is attacking those troops. So everything is like jumping away, and the town hall can just finish up the job, and this is going to be a nice and easy 1-star on this base. So I don't know yet if this base is actually working in Legend League. Give it a try on your own if you want to. I'm using right now, like I said, 15 archers and 2 ice golems. The base link for this base is down below in the comments. And well, guys, let me know how this base works for you. Now, like I said, there will be some more bases in the near future, especially like for the Clan War League, which is coming up soon. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the base. I hope I see you guys soon tomorrow. And until then, see ya and bye-bye.